right, everyone. Welcome to episode 119. This is the pre-show for fishing for servers. Yeah, it's kind of obvious that we're trying to get servers in this game. So I think a limited playtime this week for us, especially after reset. Got the story done. Oh, B, Chad, and Shifty did the dungeon boss 3 times, and I finally got the exotic.
Congratulations.
Now we get to do our catalyst run, and then Ryan will call it a day.
I gotta get the rest of the armor for my
For what?
warlock.
Oh, just for ornaments, or
Yeah, I still haven't got that done. And I still haven't got the grenade launcher yet.
yeah, me neither.
I don't think I've got the rocket yet.
So with 4th of July coming up here, definitely going to partake in some hot dog eating. And we have learned that Fox, likes his hot dogs kind of plain. So Fox, what goes through your mind? You have the family barbecue, those hot dogs there, buns. What are you putting on that hot dog?
So, first of all, we need to establish one thing. When I eat hot dogs, it's more of like a speed contest as opposed to like a savoring contest. And typically it's more of a quantity over quality type of deal. So, first thing I ask, are we talking like bratwurst, Big Red Smokies, or just like Oscar Mayer wieners?
Yeah, it's
Like,
just it's just a normal hot dog. It's not like Hebrew National, It's a hot dog.
Oh, you're even churching it up a little more than, well, mosquing it up a little more. I don't really know what they call it, but so
Nathan's hot dog. We can go with those.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
So
Natural casing, right?
those are the more beef. Those are the more beef dogs, right?
Yeah,
Normally more of a plain guy. Now, if we're getting those pressed hot dogs of like beef, chicken, pork, like all that stuff grounded up and pressed, throw a little bit of ketchup on there. However, it has to be the only ketchup I will eat is Heinz 57 ketchup. I get that. Don't even bring Hunt's around me or any store brand. I'll just swat it away. So I'm a Heinz and Heinz only person there. If there is cheese, sometimes I'll like dash a little cheese on there, but typically we're going plain or only ketchup.
So you are not a fan of mustard, and why is that?
I think it's the smell of mustard.
Okay.
So whenever I smell it, it just, I don't know, it does something to me. Sends vomit right through me. You know what I mean? It's not anything that I can handle. The color of it's kind of gross to you. I have to say that. The only thing I can do with mustard that I know there's mustard. Sometimes when people do like smoked meats, they'll do like
as a binder,
like a mustard rub, like binder. And if I like, sometimes I know it's there, but I just have to just get it out of my mind and I'm fine. Like I can't taste it, but just that mental hurdle of knowing it's there sometimes. So I just don't like to know.
Have you ever enjoyed Carolina Gold barbecue sauce?
No, I hate Carolina style barbecue sauce. I knew you were going to go there. Anything that's like mustard based, and I also don't really care for like vinegar based barbecue sauces or hot sauces either.
Oh, not
which
hot
makes
sauces?
sense on why you don't like the mustard either.
Yeah.
Okay. Chad, how you doing that hot dog?
Yeesh. I mean, I'm a plain ketchup kind of person if I'm just speed eating as well. But if I have a choice, I'll grab the bun. I'll throw mayo on one side, then I'll throw some dill relish on the other side. Plop the hot dog on there, and then do ketchup and mustard.
Okay. Okay, solid. For me, if it's just the two condiments, the speed one, like at a ball game, you're just trying to get something on that hot dog you just bought. Just ketchup and mustard and move it, keep it moving. Now, if I have time to put on some diced onions, I'm putting some onions on there. So that's probably like the normal, it's like straight up hot dog. But of course, certain parts of the country have hot dog sauce or also chili to put on their hot dogs. I'm a fan of that. If that's available, I'm putting that on. Maybe some additional hot sauce on top, and a mounted cheese.
So with 4th of July coming up, kind of got us on the hot dog talk. 12 minutes. You've been preparing. How many hot dogs could you take out?
Oh, in 12 minutes?
Yep.
Ooh. I feel like I can put down 8. Like 8 hot
Okay.
dogs is probably where I'm at.
I could probably agree on that one. I could probably hit 7 or 8 and tap out. I'm a little guy compared to these two.
Yeah, but Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut, the greatest athlete in American history, he's a little guy as well.
I also don't train for it.
Yeah.
So
Got a nickname, Jaws. So all I'm saying is, if I was doing it, I would be disappointed in myself if I didn't hit double-digit dogs.
Yeah.
I think
I'd be
I don't want to
disappointed
get
too.
cocky. I don't want to get cocky and say I could do like 12 to 15. That's I think I could get a dozen down. But I would be disappointed if I didn't get at least 10.
So is that what they actually? I didn't know how much the time was for the hot dog eating contest. So
I'm pretty sure it's 15 minutes.
okay.
So, but they also eat those big old. They eat the Nathan's. It's the Nathan's hot dog
Yeah,
eating
heck yeah.
contest. So they get the
Nathan's.
full.
Mm-hmm.
They get the big dog.
I love
It's on
it.
Coney Island, I believe, right? Isn't that where they have it at?
That sounds right, but I haven't done much research into it.
I thought you were looking it up, Chad. You had that look on your face.
I think he was fishing.
No, I was getting my monitors all set up, all 5 of them, and then my projector I had to get set up too.
All right. So
Um,
this is 6 hours ago from Yahoo.
Brooklyn. It's located in Brooklyn.
So this is the. Oh wow. Joey Chestnut, Joey Jaws Chestnut. So this is the 107th hot dog eating contest. He says his goal is to eat 70 in 10 minutes. So apparently it's 10 minutes.
Jeez.
Okay.
Holy moly.
This dude is a machine. If you've never seen it, it's definitely worth a quick YouTube or Google, but do it after the podcast, not right now. And he has a unique. Have you ever seen it, Chad? Have you ever seen how they do this? So they take 2 dogs.
Yeah,
They
I've
break the
seen- I've
dogs in
watched it.
half.
I enjoy it very much. Yeah. And then they
Terrible
dip the
visual for
bun
me
in
right
the-
here.
in
Dip the
in
bun in the
liquid
water.
to get sogged and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I've taken notes. I've tried. Back when I was a kid.
yeah.
I gave up. I knew
Yeah,
I couldn't get that good.
the hot dog, the bun, the soggy bun would be a bit much. The men's defending champion is Joey Chestnut, who last year ate 63 hot dogs. So I have to say that's pretty successful.
Mhm.
I think his highest, looking at Wikipedia here, was 75. And second place ate 42. So that's to give you an idea of what an athlete Joey Chestnut is. Beat second place by a cool 33 hot dogs. So
Gosh.
Wow. Yep.
yeah,
And then you
trying to
just get the most
see.
relentless burps you've ever heard of for like 20 minutes after.
Yeah, he said like the the poop the poop is the worst part. The
That's understandable.
yeah, so that would be just a nightmare the next morning. But it's cool, like whenever Kobayashi won it, which I believe he was Japanese, I want to say. He's a little guy, like real little guy. And after the contest was over, he'd like raise his shirt up, like this. And you would just see like the ends of hot dogs pointing out of his belly. Like his belly was so full. You could see. So, yeah. But Joey brought the title back home to America where it belongs. So, USA, baby. Okay. Are we ready to get into the real stuff now?
Yep.
You in that Zencaster?
Oh, no.
He is not in that Zencaster.
I wasn't going to say that. Why you got to say that, man?
Microphone. Yep. Okay. We should be good.
I'm not seeing any squiggles.
Talk again, Jared?
I mean, I'll talk again right now.
I see
There they are.
squiggles. I see.
Okay.
'em.
Got it. All right, don't forget, we gotta start and stop.
Okay.
Oh.
Click on the button. Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 119 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is June the 29th, 2023, and I, the Destiny bad boy, NotRyanFox, I'm here with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared?
Hey, everyone. So this week we have a Twit update, some servers, and maybe some additional fishing luck that's going to be going on next week.
And the chronicler himself, chadocero.
Hearing Twid still, I gotta get used to it. I still can't.
Yeah.
I still can't process it. But we're actually going to be going into the lore book of the season for once, pretty early on. We're starting it as a part 1. Going to finish it next week. But I'm excited. I'm excited to dig in.
And as a reminder, if you're watching this on YouTube, where if you're not, you really miss out on the pre-show, which is probably one of the better parts of the show, if we're being honest. If you're on YouTube, you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. If you listen to us on there, thank you so much. Please be sure to like and leave a comment, recommend us to a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, click the bell, turn on notifications, all that stuff that helps us with the algorithm. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send a spongy friend request because I think I have about 4 to 5 people online at a time right now. It's hashtag dead game. So join our Discord server. We did get a TWID this week, and I believe Sam brought it. I looked, but I don't remember. If not, I'll correct it after the break here. But before we get into that, let's listen to our intro music, which is brought to you by everybody's favorite Link, who you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG. I thought you were talking to the kid or something in there. Chad, 153 was the time.
153.
33 seconds.
So 153 plus 33 seconds.
Yeah.
223.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. There I am.
In there.
Squiggles. You guys have squiggles?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Jared, you want to start us off with the TWID this week?
Yeah. So with all these TWIDs, they kind of just summarize what's been going on this last week or two with just bullet points. So if there's any of those like you want to dive it back into, or go back and listen to us for our previous, TWID discussions, we'll get you going. Now, this week, there's going to be an update on game stability and its next steps. Basically, Bungie is making the statement that they're aware of these issues, and they kind of go in detail of servers and like the server communicating with algorithms to fix claims, which a claim is like an error code. This was like a lot of words to be like, we see the errors. Our previous algorithm didn't detect them too fast, and now it should be connecting the dots faster in the future. And this is what we're going to do moving forward. So ongoing, they're going to continue to make these adjustments. But on the mid-season update for season 21, they're going to make targeted improvements to their logging and altering systems, allowing to diagnose issues more quickly with claims and related systems. And these changes are designed to minimize risk and further degrading stability while helping confirm effectiveness of fixes farther out on the roadmap. So that's wave 1. Second wave is the launch of season 22. Here's where they're going to be deploying large set of improvements to improve the self-healing ability of claims, and then reduce the odds of like manual people needing to bring Destiny temporarily offline to fix an issue. And then season 23, based on the results of the season 22 launch, there'll be more updates and improving the bugs, fixes, and targeting deeper and broader architectural improvements, like with the servers and the coding. So this is kind of just what happens as the game ages, isn't it? Like I feel like, what was there ever a time in Halo days when the game was like around for a long time and then servers kind of got wonky because just how old the code was?
The only server issues that ever happened in Halo is whenever 343 took it over and tried to launch Master Chief Collection. Really, that was honestly, that was the only server issues, and that game was busted ass broke for I want to say like a year or 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember having to, after every game, having all 4 of us having to dashboard or like close the app, come back in, and get back in order to be able to queue back up after that. But as far as like the Bungie Halo games, they were flawless. To the point to where Bungie came up with a party system that was eventually came to Xbox. That started as a Bungie thing. Initial Xbox Live, all games kind of did their own thing. There wasn't like Xbox Live supported voice chat, but there wasn't like cross. Like you couldn't like get into a group and just stay with that group and roll through. It was always searching. So they actually used a lot, or they worked closely with Bungie in order to implement a lot of their code into the initial Xbox Live back in like 2004. I'm sure they were working on Halo 2, 2002, 2003 in that. And that was, I think Live came out in 2002, I want to say, around Christmas of 2002. Mm-hmm. So, and then they used a lot of that. Once Halo 2 launched, it was like that's like probably the last time I've been my mind was blown, was probably like online gaming.
Yeah. Chad, looking at all this map out here, what they're going to change, is this going to be enough for us to like, it's going to be stable for that day 1 raid or the launch of next expansion, or is it still we're going to be, we still going to be just hanging on?
I mean, what I can say is, very surprisingly for us, Root of Nightmares wasn't terrible. We got booted, I think, on the first encounter of Vow. Like lots of
Yes.
people were having the first encounter troubles, and I think we also did because I remember we had to do it twice.
The opening ride the
Yeah, the
boat thing.
opening the door, and on Ron there. Yeah, I don't remember there being many hiccups, if at all. I mean, we got on later. We didn't do it starting day one on the time on the dot. We started after a full work day. So that might attribute to that. But
Okay.
I'm hoping if anything that it's just either the same as what our experience was on Ron or just a little smoother, which is totally fine with me. That's where it should be at. So, I mean, for my experience with Ron, I just want that exact same experience or a little bit better.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I really hope so because there's a lot of like connecting Destiny server stuff that's coming on in the baboon areas. I mean, it's kind of makes stuff unfun. I know, like I think last week we battled like all night with some disconnects in Last Wish. I think Chad, you completely like. I think you did get babooned in the middle of an encounter, which
Yeah.
that stuff's tough, and it just
Yeah.
makes stuff not fun. So hopefully this improves it moving forward.
Yeah, it was the ogre. I came
Yeah.
back during DPS with no ammo at all, so I'm just shooting him with a handgun, like pew pew pew.
All right, so next week is going to be Bungie Day week, so that's on 7/7, and part of that is going to be double exotic fish drop rate across the board at all 3 locations. So if you're having trouble getting some exotic fish, or like you're trying to clear them out for the triumphs, so the next week you're supposed to get double. So instead of getting 1 in 200, you're going to get 1 in 100. So smile, right? So overall, that's good. I hope Bungie Day is fun. It's going to be on Friday next week. Are you expecting anything out of Bungie Day?
A Bungie blog post, maybe.
Yeah. Any update?
Maybe something in the Eververse store
Yeah.
to
Ooh,
celebrate.
I was gonna say like a marathon styled set in Eververse store.
Mm.
That might give like little hints as to marathon, like some symbols or some aesthetics that are on the armor sets. That's definitely not gonna happen, but that would be super cool if it did. But they would obviously be 2,000 silver each. Duh. I'm just hoping like a cool marathon emblem comes out and they just talk about Bungie in general because it's a day about Bungie for them, not technically Destiny. The only thing that they had was Destiny, so now they have 2 games that they can start being giggly about. But I really don't expect much besides maybe an emblem. Call it a day. Or maybe they do like a boosted something drop like hey, for the next 5 days or 4 days the exotic drop rate in lost sectors is increased. Okay. I don't know, man.
Oh,
There's
okay.
literally nothing they can do that besides a emblem.
That's what
I'm
I was getting
excited
ready to
about.
say.
Like that's
I was
it.
waiting on
Like,
you to
emblem is it. Emblem is
An
what I'm
emblem
expecting.
with a 7 and like the fist, like the thunder
Yeah.
lightning
Douche.
bolt thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably can't say douche, but you know.
That's not what I said, but I'm glad you said it.
I don't know. I think there's some stuff in the tank that they can put out there if they want, and that's along of matter or marathon. Like they can give us some more information about either one of those on that day, and I think
Oh.
that'd be cool.
Jared was right. Did you see the matter news? Did I share that with you guys?
I see it. Yeah.
That came out
Go ahead.
in the FTC filing that Microsoft is expecting a new IP from Bungie, Matter, in 2025, and Matter is not Marathon. So FTC
boy.
and Microsoft kind of going back and forth over the Activision Blizzard acquisition. And there were a lot of documents, like emails and things, that came out as evidence, and it got lifted out of there. So Jared was right on that 100%.
So that's good. I think now I'm thinking Matter is going to be like uh, like a once or twice playthrough game. It's not going to be a live service game.
It'd be hard to run 3 live service games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what my dream would be that if this was just a PvE only game, right? That, I
You
mean,
could
that's
play with
not what it
friends.
is. Yep. Yep. But, you know, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. $70, 10 story campaign with like a good story attached to it, like they did with Halo.
Yeah.
Put it in the soul universe of Destiny 7,000 years later or something, you know, and maybe you find like Shax's helmet buried underneath a rock. You know what I mean? Just like a little wink and a nod, and let us go shoot stuff in a fire team of 3 or 4. I'd be happy with that. I don't even need multiplayer.
Yeah. All
I
right.
got no thoughts.
Okay. So last week was the Witness origin story cinematic, and Bungie has confirmed that the cinematic will be playable. You will be able to be viewable in game after year 6 of Destiny 2. So that means usually when the start of the next expansion, all seasonal content gets wiped out of the game. That cutscene is staying. It's also on Bungie's YouTube now, so you can also go watch it there. If you haven't seen it or haven't played it in game, it really connects a lot of the dots, kind of what happened, and overall, I mean, it was much needed in game, and I'm glad it's staying in game. That anybody can go view it.
I hate to say this, but that cutscene was fine, but it wasn't near the deal that the internet made it out to be, I don't think.
I think we were so starved for any Witness origin that the fact that we finally got it was just so much hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, their little stylized story was more important in my eyes than what happened this week. What happened this week was you knew it as soon as Witch Queen the campaign ended. It's like, oh no, we have Savathun's body now, and the ghost escaped. What does that mean? That means Savathun's gonna get picked up eventually, whether it's on our side or she just escapes somehow. So you know she's coming back, just not how or why. So all we know now is like, okay, well, Zavala might pick her up, res her teammate, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Savathun's ghost Amaru, they got a new voice actor for it, and the only time you really hear from him is in patrols. Like I feel like he's got to be like in some other scenes and talking pretty soon.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like, why would they replace the VA if it was just going to be a patrol talk? So, one thing that my favorite bit of dialogue this season and was not the final week of the seasonal story, but the week prior to that. You know how you go to the projector like after you complete like the 7 steps of the quest, and then there's like a message, and it was like Drifter talking in there and talking about like his old days and all that. Like that was the most interesting bit to me. I'm a self-admitted like sucker for Jermaine content, though. You know what I mean? Like he's by far my favorite character of the
Guys are
whole
on first name basis, huh?
game. Yeah, you know, we go way back.
You no snitch.
So, but that was my favorite part, which is I wanted to listen to it again, and I was like, I don't really want to. Didn't even really know what to type into YouTube to find it. So I figured Chad will tell me eventually again at some point. So
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty much it for the TWID. Next, we're gonna get into is our likes and dislikes from the week. We give out 3 likes and 3 dislikes in total from us, and I'll go ahead and lead us off here. Last week we did complete Fallen Saber GM, and a loaded question was dropping last week, and I got a loaded question with overflow and control burst. So that was awesome. That was worth it. I loved. It did take all 10 of my Nightfall. I don't even know what those things are called.
ciphers.
Yeah, all those to buy one. It cost 10. So worth it because I got that roll. But if I didn't get that roll and it was turned into 4 legendary shards, I would be upset.
Yeah. My like this week was getting to run ran a last wish with Nina at the end of last week. A full disclosure, I don't remember anything that happened after us shooting the heart at the end. I don't remember turning the game off. I don't remember going to the tower to pick out my red border. Apparently, I rewatched the stream. Apparently, we went into another raid. We went into Vault of Glass.
Yeah.
And it looked like I just got lost and stuck and just was at a level mentally to where I was unable to figure out where to go or what to do and just rage quit, I think. And I woke up and I was like, I don't remember coming to bed. I don't remember anything. So, yeah, that would apparently I had a pretty good time. So that would be my like for this week.
Shout out to Nina, my wife, first raid ever. She was not happy with me whenever it was. What's the second boss encounter?
Shirochi.
Shirochi, yeah, where you have to go jump up on the platforms, and she goes, "You didn't prepare me for these jumps." I was like, "I know it is my fault," but after that raid, she had to go do the Risk Runner like catalyst thing that you can do. And there's like there's like a decent jumping puzzle in there, and she did it all without even telling me she did it. And she goes, because like I already did like the hard jumps in the raid, and now like this jumping puzzle was like that much easier. So yeah.
So my like for this week is that the story is headed in a good direction. Obviously this season has set up Witness backstory, which should have been story in Lightfall, but we have it now. It's set up more character development between Zavala and I'm not on first name basis, so Drifter. The Same 14 and him talking to Saladin was very interesting as well this week. Hearing them kind of butt heads, but like kind of come back together as like, we need to stand strong and just be titans. And just hearing all these storylines coming from the little cutscenes and the radio broadcast that you hear, and the radio broadcast between Drifter and Zavala, excellent. I loved it. That was great. That was, I think, one of the highlights of the seasonal stuff so far for me. But knowing as a fact now, even though it was pretty much everybody was agreed that Savathun's coming back, seeing how it's going to happen, how Zavala is the one that's like, we got to do it. We have to do it. And it's like, wow, Zavala's the one that's, he was telling us not to run after the guys who killed Cade, and now he's like, we got to pick up the Witch Queen. We got to res her. And everyone else is like, are you crazy? So it's fun to see that kind of twist. But I'm excited to see how they, like the end of season thing, how they get all that kind of squared away to see if it's next season or if Savathun gets picked up on the last season before Final Shape happens. Not sure about the order. It makes sense if she was the season before Final Shape, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see where it goes. Now, as far as my dislike, I dislike that we have not gotten the this week's GM out of the way. This week's GM is the Battleground. I know that Ryan very much enjoyed the Battleground so much
There's my
So he has
favorite.
those memorized. And I know that I was talking about it with a guy at work. We're talking about it because he went through it on Hero to reacquaint himself with it, and he's like, "We died in one of the rooms on Hero," and I was like, "Oh no,
Jeez.
I'm not excited." And this was Wednesday, so he tried it Tuesday night, and then I talked to him about it Wednesday, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I tried it. Like it was just matchmaking, but he's like, we died in the first room, just." I
Yep.
was like, "Oh no." I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm actually. I know it's weird me being the contrarian. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like I'm ready for us. I'm ready for a challenge. We don't. We get what, like 2 days a year or 3 sittings a year where something's like frustratingly difficult. So I'm ready for it. Granted, I might have a totally different outlook on it once we beat it here tomorrow or Saturday or whatever day we decide. But right now, I'm looking forward to it. My dislike is just fishing. Man, this shit sucks. Like it sucks to go fishing. You get on there, trying to get these exotic fish so I'm not behind on the exotic quest, and I knew that eventually there would be some buff to these. I knew, but I didn't know if it would be at the end of this season or the end of the Destiny calendar year. So apparently it's next week, as we touched on. But I just want to get it done, get it over with. I swear to God, once I get this done, I will never touch fishing again unless there is some stupidly good piece of loot tied behind it. Like if it's just something to do, never again will I do it.
All right, so not a fan of fishing and Destiny. What if they have farming next season? As in, like, you gotta go like till the garden, plant some seeds, go water them. Like, how you feeling about that?
Like turn me into like a Stardew Valley
Yeah.
like type.
Be a Harvest Moon.
It
Kind of
would
guy.
it would be like Minecraft. That's my favorite thing to do. I do all the farm stuff. My wife Tiffany does all the mining and all that stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't think that they could do it in a way that would be as good as other games to make me do it. But I have been. Well, I'll save this for later in the show. But that would be much more up my alley than the fishing, because I think the only game that I ever liked fishing in was Hank Parker's Black Bass Fishing on Super Nintendo. So once we got past that, I wasn't much into the fishing genre.
If they
Or
made,
the old Sierra Fishing. Do you remember those games on the PC back in the day?
I don't think I played that.
Those are old. Those are old PC games. They were old for me. Like
Yeah.
and yeah.
What if they made fishing harder but more rewarding?
Yeah, dude. Like right now, I'm just sitting and just looking at a screen, and I'm pushing my mouse, the side of my mouse, wants to cast, wants to catch, and I'm pushing it over like 214 times, like wants to cast, wants to catch, and not catching. Like not catching the exotic fish. Like that is too much. Like it should not be more than 50 in order to. It should be like a 2% chance every cast to get that exotic fish.
All right, so my dislike is my RNG luck of Ghost of the Deep Dungeon. I did finally get the trace rifle. I was the last one of the group to get it. Still, I haven't got the grenade launcher yet. I've only gotten one SMG. I've only gotten one glaive, which I don't give a care. I don't really care about the glaive, but still, only get it to drop once, and now, that grenade launcher just has to drop for me one time, and it's a wayframe. It's a stasis one. I really would like that, but man, just can't get any better at it. So, next up is going to be Grandmaster notes. All right. This last week's Grandmaster was Fallen Saber. That was like the 5th time around. It's been a GM. probably the easiest one of the season. And we got it done. I think I don't know if you have the stats from how many deaths we did, Fox, but it wasn't bad for us being as rusty as we are in game PVE. I think we maybe got in a rough spot maybe one time, and that was like the arc hallway, and that's just
Yeah. Just dumb.
yeah, just dumb stuff. And but something we was used to.
Full run is on YouTube, by the way, and it was our first run. It wasn't like we ran it 7 times and then like we showed you every run. There was only one. We showed it to you, so you can kind of see how it went for us.
It's arc and it's overload. I think me and Chad both use trace rifles for overload. Fox used a scout rifle, so the trace rifle with overload work fine. It actually stuns it pretty quick. How did you feel about the scout rifle use for an overload?
Man, I kind of, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all because that is the one strike to where the rooms kind of allow you to do damage from a range. So I was running Arbalest scout rifle and rocket, and I pulled it up here. I had 5 deaths. Jared had 2 deaths. Chad had 2 deaths. Which I think I had 2 deaths in the arc hallway and 2 deaths in the final boss room. So, what I would recommend is having because the boss shoots like that solar blast at you, so have some sort of solar resist on your chest piece, which maybe have 2 of them, like 2 solars and an arc or something like that. Maybe probably be the way to go, I would think, because there's also the tracer shanks. But scout rifle arbalest worked out real well. I could pick the vandals off from distance, and they were yellow bars, and I want to say they were 4 taps or 5 taps at the most to kind of take all the way down, assuming I was hitting all crits, which that's nothing for me really, hitting all crits. So but no, it was fun, and I was using a tarnished metal with rapid hit bolt shot. So I had a pretty good, because the arc, you got arc captains you're dealing with, so it was a pretty solid choice in my opinion.
Yeah, so the other strat we kind of did was the Gallahorn strat with a couple other rocket launchers, really just to pump out the DPS. I do like that strat moving forward. I think Chad had a little bit of issue keeping up heavy though. Is that right?
After the war set, I just wasn't getting it to drop at all. I don't think I saw another brick until the boss room. One of the servitors dropped a heavy brick, and I think that was one of your finders, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
But I was like, I still have a bunch of ammo, so I'm okay. I think I walked in there with 5 rockets, so I'm like, it'll be okay. I was mostly using a trace rifle for overloading, and then just kind of hanging out and doing stuff. But I was suspending and doing a lot of strand-based stuff most of the time, so I wasn't really using a rocket for the rest of the run until the boss room happened. But yeah, that was the only hitch for me was the need for rockets. But I was able to throw down panic grenades to suspend everything and run away, and it worked.
That was good.
All of a sudden, there's 2 invisible guys on me. I'm like, just tossed the grenade at the floor and ran away.
Yeah, we had a pretty solid run on that. So the first room, you're doing the Warsat public event, basically, where you're counting down the timer. And if you watch our video, you can go in and see. You kind of just stand in there for 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then enemy spawn. You kill all the enemies, back out, kill all the enemies, kind of work that up slowly. But the room right after that, where you jump down and you go through the door that opens, and the room that you have to throw the grenade through, like the diamond at the end in order to get that. We had a really clean run in that room. So if you want to see what we did, it's on YouTube. The next room, which is the arc room, could have been way smoother. I think we maybe died like 4 or 5 times, like total in that room. Like I know I died twice. I think both of you died once, at least. So, but the room after that, we've got a pretty solid strategy for that room. I just kind of run in and drop a well at the middle, at the bottom, and then we just kind of plowed everything before it even made its way down the ramp. And at that point, you're one room away from the boss room. I know Jared always reminds us to be careful on your jump down into the boss room, that you don't ride the wall down, because if you die, it puts your ghost up top or your orb up top to respawn, and nobody can get up there to get you. So, like I said, arc room, boss room could have been cleaner. Otherwise, I thought it was a pretty clean run.
All right, so next up is going to be theorizing what we're going to do for the PsyOps Battleground Grandmaster. I looked at, just a couple quick playthroughs of just like some of the ad layouts, just to like, I think I need to get back in there and do the hero version of it to remember what spawns when. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of ads. And then whenever you get to that boss room and Savathun's up in the air, just hurling everything she's got at you, it's going to be tough. And
I'm not sure I remember.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I remember this like what it is. So, is it one of the ones where like you get to the room right before the boss room and you got to get the almonds and shoot the thing off the door and run in?
No. So the first you kind of start out outside of the Shadow Keep, and you kind of clear around the Shadow Keep, and then you drop down into the same area from the other Moonstrike. I forgot the name of it. But there you gotta go around collecting orbs from yellow bars, and to go deposit them and dunk them. And it is like every time you do that, there's like 2 champions to spawn, so it's a lot of space.
So, for the sake of content, do you guys want me to watch something on this, or just run into a blind and we'll see how it goes?
I do recommend us going through the hero version or something. Just
let's not do that. What if we just watch a video?
Okay.
Let's not run a hero version. Let's not be P words.
Okay.
Let's come right in.
It's the same thing, Ryan. Watching a video and just doing it once.
No, you gotta remember, I'm trying to get by this whole season only running 6 strikes. So, can't be running hero versions.
I do know for sure that even 10 resilience and 2 arc resist mods, you die to 1-shots in the boss room.
No way. Are you serious?
Yes. Yep.
I assume that is the Wado. Dado Wado has a video out.
He might, but it's also frames per second based. So if your frames are at 30, you live. But if your frames are at 60 or above, you die.
So we're going to go
do what you need to do. I already have to turn my resolution so far down in order to like be able to stream. Like, because if not, like the stream gets a little choppy if I try to run at like 2K 165, the stream gets choppy. So for the sake of you guys, I already turned that reso down for me. So I thought about just getting me like a little $200 desktop with like that, or even putting a second graphics card in this thing, like a 1060 or something, just to solely handle like encoding. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Me looking at it, I think I might go another well lock or a stasis lock, because we need as much healing and try to have overshields. Maybe part of me also thinks Banner Titan with with the
Double
second
Ursas.
Ursa or the second chance. I really like the second chance exotic. It weakens the enemies. It gets you an overshield. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about what are you all thinking for your play.
I'm running a warlock. That's about as far as I've made it. I don't even know what champions are in this one, so
Mm-hmm.
I am
Well, it's
like
Hive.
legit. I'm legit 100. Don't do that. Just tell me barrier overload. There's fucking 3 possible answers. Let's just tell me what 2 of the 3 there are,
Yeah,
and go from there.
It's barrier and unstoppable.
Okay. Probably Arbalest is going to be in there, I would say.
Yeah.
Unless there's only like 3 or 4 barriers or something, but
Because we could do 2 RBs and a Yallarhorn again.
Yeah. Yeah. We might have to do that.
It's
gonna be Clay.
If I'm not Yallarhorn, I'm gonna be running a hand cannon either
Yeah.
way in the middle, and then one of those 2.
It'd be great for
But yeah,
creating.
I was thinking Ursa Titan, but second
Yeah.
chance would be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully you tuned into it whenever we go to do that. Probably a Friday or Saturday night thing. Hopefully we don't push it. We might do it Sunday, potentially. Not sure. I know I'm going out Saturday night, but I don't know what time I'll be back. I definitely will not be playing Saturday night, so we have to figure something
hold on. You got like fun plans or
Yeah,
what we doing?
fun plans. Yeah. So
Okay.
the family from Pittsburgh is going to be in our city, so we'll be going out.
The family from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Should be a fun time then, I think.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, Gambling Corner. Well, halfway through Gambling Corner on our last bet, but we'll go ahead and give you a little update.
Yeah, so kind of ruined it in the last segment, but we have 9 deaths so far. So our Gambling Corner was how many deaths would we have total between the 2 GMs, because we hadn't ran the Fallen Saber 2 and we knew this one was upcoming, so we were a little optimistic of ourselves, thinking we were going to get those done Tuesday or Wednesday, the one this week. So I think I said 23.
You said
I think
24.
Chad said 24. Okay, I said 24. Chad said 25, and Jared said 19.
Yep.
Is that? Yeah. So that was up here off the dome. So that was kind of our guesses for total deaths across the 2. We're sitting at 9 deaths total right now. I'm feeling okay. I'm not feeling great. Feeling okay. How do you guys feel about your guess there?
I think Chad's got it in the bag. To me, it's like
Okay.
I feel good about it, but we'll see what happens, because that battleground is not going to treat us well.
yeah.
We are definitely in for a challenge, and that's what Ryan's excited about.
Yeah, you guys act like we suck. Like we are not bad at the game.
I'm saying what you said. So you're saying we suck. I'm saying it's going to be rough. Not that we're bad. It's just it's going to be tough, because it is a tough one. And there is no cheese spot like on Mars, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
And apparently also, while you're in the boss room, if you're in there for too long, the staffs that you have to use to damage Sabathune can despawn, and you won't have any more staffs.
Dude, and I don't know if I've ever ran this whatsoever. Like, you guys are talking about Sabathune and staffs, and I'm like, we fought her in a battleground?
Yep.
Oh, man.
So what
Yeah,
was it?
happened on
Psyops
Witch
Moon,
Queen.
right?
Yeah.
Season of the Risen, right?
Okay. Yeah, there's 3 platforms, a middle, a center, a left, and a right, and
Yeah.
they're floating. Okay. I know exactly. I know this one.
This one,
This ain't
Crow screwed
nothing.
up like everything where he pulled the plug on the
Yeah.
psyop that was in the mind.
Oh
And,
yeah, just triple being
Chump.
yep.
around that whole season,
Yep.
Freaking chump.
crying by the door in the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still there.
Okay.
He was being a heckin' bad boy.
All right. So right now, Chad is at 5,000. Fox is at 10,000, and I am at 23,000 Glimmer. So Chad's due for a win. He hasn't had a win yet this season. So good for him.
Baby.
Good for him getting this win. All
That's
right.
your all-star sign you just put up there.
It is, yeah.
All right. So it's time for the star to shine. What's going on in lore, Chad?
Oh boy. Like I said, we're going to be going through the first part of the actual lore book of the season. I think this is the earliest I've ever gone through it. But the lore book is called Purpose. So we're going to start off with chapter 1, debriefing. Sloan? Commander Zavala's voice sounds distorted, as if he were underwater. The chilling running down Sloane's spine only adds to the sensation. She knows she had been gone for a while. For how long, she isn't sure. Chiahan's internal chronometer had glitched out shortly after Titan disappeared and took them with it. Sloane had been left to measure the passage of time by feeling it in her bones. The universe moved on without her. That was to be expected, but Sloane still can't believe Zavala's debriefing. The words crash into her like one tidal wave after another, threatening to knock her off balance and fill her lungs with brine. Stasis? Keitel. The House of Light? Savathun. The Lucent Brood. Neomuna. Amanda. Sloane's thoughts drift back to the wake of the Red War, call signs and banter as Holiday's hawk flew overhead, small talk between sorties, quiet moments and shared laughter between the staccato of gunfire and roar of jet engines, a friendship chiseled into marble one stroke at a time. Amanda was always fearless, the first to stand up and the last to go home. Why did she always have to be such a damn hero? Sloane? Zavala says again. She realizes she's been clenching her fists. She might have been shaking. Sloane's eyes focus once more, meeting those of her commanding officer. He looks different than she remembers. His eyes seem older, wiser, and filled with something that catches her off guard. Is that pity? Can he see it? This pit growing in her stomach, this yawning chasm that yearns to swallow her whole. Is he questioning her resolve, her ability to see this through, to do her duty back on the front line so others don't have to? Does he see your weakness? Sloane clenches her fists again. Sir, she replies, her voice holds steady. Understood, sir. Zavala's brow furrows. It's a lot to take in. If you need to, I don't. A moment of silence passes. Sloane does not let him see anything. Zavala nods. Very well, he says. Dismissed. Sloane salutes and returns to her station. She would be the first to stand up and the last to go home. Chapter 2, Theory. Ikora pinches a thick and vibrant strand thread from the air and twists it between her fingers with ease. It plies to her influence, but smooths the motions of her hands, tapering her movement to flow in cleaner lines. The veil tones in rhythm with the plucks of tension rolling across her knuckles. She focuses on the subtle irregularities in each pulse, the patterns they form. There are small, few plucked reverberations that resonate out beyond the walls of this chamber, beyond the detection of her intuition and out into the cosmos. Those capture her interest most. Behind her, an animated avatar escorts Osiris into the Veil's containment chamber. They gesture him towards Ikora and bid farewell. Osiris watches the ripples play out before him and across the fabric of reality as a wave, then particles, then a wave again. He feels it brush over him. He steps with the cadence of each pulse sent rippling from Ikora's plucking knuckles, basking in Strand's energizing rhythm, feeling whole again. It's stronger. The Veil's signature. Ikora's voice carries a hint of learned suspicion. Ever since we recovered Titan. That is to be expected, Osiris retorts, now within the weave of droning strands surrounding the Veil. The room around them trembles. When Titan was torn back, the Veil took notice. It seemed to recognize Titan's arrival. Ikora tightens her grip on the strand thread. We have the veil, our ghosts. What are we missing? If we decipher the connection between Titan and the veil, that connection might be what we need to follow the witness. What of the worm? Osiris asks skeptically. Sloane believes she is our best chance. You taught me the value of a backup plan. Ikora gives him a stern look. Titan, Savathun's throne world, every place we've found egregore. I haven't found the exact threads yet, but pull one, and they all seem to spin back to Neomuna, to the veil. You're getting ahead of yourself, following some of my less favorable tendencies. Nimbus says we must flow to understand Strand. Perhaps it is the same with the veil. Osiris moves beside Ikora and reaches up, palm parallel to the threads drawn taut from Ikora's braid of Strand. Soul remembered Titan in a way. The veil's signal spiked when Titan returned from memory to reality, when the rhythm of the solar system had been restored to order. Osiris drops his hand and looks to Ikora. Perhaps we must simply find that rhythm before we are able to interpret the beats within it. And once we do, when we should be able to reverse that process, she replies. Ikora releases the thread and tracks the rippling points of connection that travel outward, along the fabric like strands of existence, to the walls of the containment enclosure. We're too late in a game for something to mean nothing. It has to connect. Ikora sighs, then turns to Osiris. Your flair for educating others is returning, though I bet some would say you never lost it. She smiles. Osiris smirks. Come, walk with me. We will discuss this unifying theory of yours. Chapter 3, Legacy. A soft, simulated whimper echoes from the workshop as Archie rests his head on Anna's shoulder. They sit together in front of the harness, holding up Rasputin's erstwhile exoframe, a lifeless effigy of cables and steel. I know, buddy, Anna says quietly. I miss him too. After Rasputin's sacrifice, Anna had arranged for the exoframe to be transferred from the helm to her workspace in the tower. At the time, she had told herself that keeping the frame in storage would have been a waste, that its technological advancements could prove useful to other exos in the future. Honestly, though, she simply wasn't ready to let go. Nevertheless, she signed herself up for a new task, and what better way to cope with grief than by staying busy? So she had been good on her word, tinkering with the frame to reverse engineer its more convoluted components. That was until she heard that Titan, like Mars before it, had suddenly reappeared, and Sloane along with it. A warrior in need of war, a weapon in search of a target, not unlike the Warmind. The thought kept Anna from fully burying herself in her work. For now, she wraps her arm around Archie as her thoughts drift to all the detritus left in Rasputin's wake. Rasputin had assembled an arsenal of unfathomable scale, remnants from thousands of warsats strewn across the solar system, prototype weaponry never to be completed, stratagems and simulations forever forgotten. And yet, sitting here in the shadow of his sacrifice, Anna finds that she wants to remember him by one thing not built for war, a canine AI, created for no other purpose than companionship, one that has made a home for himself in the tower, greeting everyone he meets on his daily walks. In the end, Rasputin's legacy was not the war he waged, but the lives he sought to protect. The notion brings a smile to Anna's lips. It's what distinguished him from Zivo Aroth, and Anna hopes that Sloane can realize the same holds true for her. Anna looks to the exoframe one last time before rising to her feet, pats the dog on his head, and he happily wags his tail in response. Come on, Archie, she says as she reaches for her comms unit. Let's go for a walk. So it's interesting to see what Anna's up to now, as well as Ikora and Osiris, hearing him teaching her about Strand after he taught us. So she's dabbling in darkness, guys. It's official. She's doing stuff.
About time.
And, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens more going along with Sloane in this storyline, but we'll get there when we get there.
I did read that last entry for the lore this season. I usually don't, but I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it's a good one. All right, next up is the mailbag. Are All right, we got question 1. What would you do if you were a speedrunner and your account got banned?
Did you guys see this drama this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there were a lot of people in the speedrunning community were banned. I saw it on Twitter. I assume you guys probably saw it in the same place as I did. So if I ever logged in, so honest to God's truth, you can look at my stats. I do not cheat. Like I don't care to lose. I'm not competitive enough. Like I don't get tilted enough to try to gain that advantage or anything. If I lose, I lose. And I might get frustrated, but never would I cheat. I don't think I've cheated in a video game since like Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was in like 6th grade, 7th grade, whenever that game came out. And that was just to like get all the weapons. I don't think I can honestly say I've never cheated in a game that was online at all. The closest I ever came to cheating was in Gears of War. I marked my television like the center of my screen so I wouldn't have to like ADS with my Nasher. If that's cheating, that's the closest I ever came to it. That's God's honest truth. Yeah. I was like 18 years old, just trying to climb the ranks, and you know, I was never good enough to really do anything because I couldn't do the wall jumps and all that stuff. But you know, but that's it. That's close as I came. So if I went on and my account was banned, I'd be done. That would be it. I would never play Destiny again. Probably be like a 30 to 40% chance I'd play the next Bungie games after this. I would probably go back and play Halo. Like I wouldn't have any trouble with that. But I don't even know because it would be like a wrongful ban or hack or whatever. So I don't think I would go for it and give them money.
Yeah, so I would appeal the ban, and I would actually like want some feedback of why I got banned. But I feel like all these people, they know what they actually did to get banned.
Exactly.
And,
I agree.
I'm not sure if I don't know the speedrunners of this community. I don't watch speedruns. In passing, I'll see, oh, somebody did this in so much time with this oob. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You use a noob. Like, I don't like it. It just misses me, the chase of doing stuff fast with a noob. It's like I'm not sure why people care about it a lot. But if I was banned, it's peace out to Bungie. If I was banned, I'm moving on. I'll go if they think I'm so corrupt, I'll go play an Activision game.
Oh man, I would do an appeal and then I would probably also bounce out. It'd be sad. I'd have to say goodbye to these two folks right here. Be like, hey, I was banned, so I'm not playing no more. And then Conqueror's Corner's down by 1. I'd be very sad. I would probably still follow the story, like through watch the esoteric videos to watch the cutscenes and stuff and be like, oh, okay, just like catching up on a book. But it'd burn. It hurts so hard to watch that and just be like, dude, I don't do anything like wrong. So oof, it would hurt. And I would look at Marathon and be like, you know what? Very low chance I'm going to play that. I might watch a video and be like, I'm good. I'm okay.
How, that would be my thing, is just knowing that I'm not one that the people that cheat, I feel like it catches the people that cheat. So I'm so paranoid about it. I don't even set like macros for like the sword skating. You know how some people do that? Mm-hmm. I don't do any macros because Bungie said in a blog post 2 years ago, or I think we even covered it on one of our episodes. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, like can't do it. So like I don't even do that. So like I never did the AFK leveling as much as I wish I could just to get the season pass done. Like I'm not even doing anything that's macro related. My like 5 keys on my Logitech keyboard that are macros are literally just UIOP and like the semicolon, which is like mute Discord, pull up the quest tab, like it's pull up the map tab, like it's nothing that's macro related whatsoever.
All right, question 2. I guess it's more of a statement, but rate this season.
I'm just gonna say it's like it's not the worst season, it's not the best season, so somewhere between a C plus and a B minus would probably be my answer.
I'm giving this one a B because I think we're still going to get some kind of exotic mission or something that we go through with these broken blades that we're getting from these exotic fish. So the season's not over yet. Now, if Savathun is resurrected by the end of this season, then this season shoots up to a B plus A minus. But I think they're gonna hold off on that.
Okay. I was gonna give it a B minus, as well. The deep dives are cool in theory and need to just be reworked. The way it works out with the buffs to stuff is really neat. I like that as well. It's like a positive. It's like the skulls in like Halo ODST. There's the positive and the negative ones. So I did like that. But the length needs to be cut down, or there needs to be a way for players to quit out early if they want to not, if they don't want the full rewards or whatever. The storyline has started to connect a lot more dots. Whether the story feels like it was pushed into this season, regardless of that, it helped us kind of get more of an understanding of the witness, a little bit of understanding with the veil based off of what happened with that witness cutscene, and the quest line you get from Neomuna with Nimbus that talks a little bit more about it. But it is good to have more dots connected and more pins on the board for us to be able to theory craft a little bit better versus being completely blind. So I do appreciate that, but yeah, no, the deep dives are way too long. So B minus for me until that exotic thing happens, and if something happens, great, it'll go up to a B, and if nothing happens, it'll stay at a B minus.
Question 3. Are there any weapons left from Destiny 1 that you would want to come to Destiny 2? And that is from Nina.
Oh, baby. My Saladin's Vigil. The weapons from that was the weapons from
Is that Wrath?
it was Wrath, but it wasn't in the raid. It was the ones that you got from doing that little forge thing. Like it was the one where you had to deposit the things, and it has like the waves. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember either, but I remember like creeping up the steps to matchmake for it.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like
Yeah.
it was you're creeping up, walking backwards for like a minute and a half of just slowly.
Just because it made you go slower so the game could matchmake in the background.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I always really liked Hawkmoon with that luck in the chamber
Yeah.
perk and everything. Like the Hawk, keep in mind I never had the super Hawkmoon that was around for year 1 of D1. I got it whenever Taken King came out and it was sold there. That way we could, that and the Monte Carlo were the exotics that us poor Xbox players had to wait a year for. So Hawkmoon, just because it just felt good. It was a good villain weapon, so that would probably be my answer. I'm not gonna say Icebreaker because I understand the problems that Icebreaker would bring to the community. So just know, I know some of you are out there beating your steering wheels or slapping your legs while you're listening on the train to us about weapons that need to come back. But Icebreaker was busted. It just completely breaks the ammo economy, so it can't come back. So Hawkmoon would be my answer.
So you want that version of Hawkmoon, not the Hawkmoon we have now.
Yeah. The real. I know that we have like the one that came from the mission on like the EDZ, where you're running through the pipes and all that stuff. But talking about like the real The real Hawk Moon. That would be
Yeah.
the one that I want with that luck in the chamber perk that it had. And it was just a stat monster, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so good.
I would want Dragon's Breath to come back, and it come back with like a bunch of verbs that's for the solar class now with like ignition and all that stuff. Like, and like I think they could throw the new perk on their bipod to where it's like it has like 3 rockets to shoot out, and each one like causes scorch. You hit something, and like you've hit targets with the first 2 rockets. The third rocket will automatically cause an ignition. Like I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with Dragon's Breath.
So a different twin-tailed fox.
Only solo though. It only does solo verbs. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What was that the other sniper like? Was it like LR 5001 or something like that? The one that had that perk, the final round or whatever, to where you could.
Oh god, you made it leave my head as soon as you.
I'm
did final
sorry.
round. It's not Long Shadow.
No, it had a
I know
number
which one
at
you're
the
talking
end of it, like LR 5001 or something stupid like that. I haven't played D1 in years, guys. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but that would probably be the other
That's not
one. But
Thousand Yard Stare, is it?
I don't think so.
Oh, LDR 5001.
Oh, I was really close. I was only 1 letter off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that gun, like shooting through walls and stuff. You could like shoot
'cause
through
you
like
can-
certain. Yeah, that would probably be the one. But I would get killed by it more. Like I would get killed by it more than I would benefit from it. So I'd probably hate it once it came back. But but that would be one because we already got like assuming bait bringer an option. Like we've kind of got it right already with
I guess like
Nation of Beast.
if it was actually in the kinetic slot but did arc damage with Firefly.
Yeah, that would be the other.
Yeah.
That would be.
I actually wish we would have that system over now, but
Just like all kinetic goes in the top slot. And
no, all primaries are in the first slot. Then like your special weapons are in your second slot, and then power weapon in the last slot.
Yeah. So like white box ammo, like
Yeah.
white box weapons in the top slot.
Yeah.
Green box weapons in the. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Going back to
That'd be a
Destiny 1
good.
style.
That'd be a good debate. Would that be better?
I just prefer it.
I don't think I disagree with you. I'll say that at least.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it more. Maybe that'd be a good question for the mailbag next week if somebody would like to ask that one. Number 5, favorite hobby outside of video games. Mine's sports. Pretty easy. I'm not so much playing sports anymore. I used to love to play sports. Now I just love to watch sports. So this is a tough time for me. Destiny being down, no sports.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough.
For me, it's probably going to be golf. I attempt to play golf. It's definitely it's a hobby. I'm by no means good, so it's more about just going out and enjoying, drinking some beers. Just being outdoors.
Mine is probably thinking about video games. Just thinking about them. And then I guess if I'm not doing that, I'm reading or trying to cook something. It's one of those things.
Last question: dog guy or a cat guy?
It's 100% dog all the way. Don't trust cats. Cats are also very self-sufficient, and they kind of don't need you. You're just there. Dogs absolutely.
They only need you to make sure that they know they are superior. That's what they are.
Yeah,
That's cats.
Dogs
And,
just absolutely lose their
I'm
mind when
like-
you come home. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm fine being around cats. I'm totally fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I will never have one in my house. I find being around them. I don't want one. No, I want my dog. I want my dog to be like, oh my God, you're home. I love you. And be like, man, you're the best.
Yeah.
Not my cat like, hey, look at my butt. Give me some food. So, all right. I guess that's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a dog guy till I had kids. Now that I have kids, totally a cat guy. Cats, you don't have to mess with them as much. So having other responsibilities that are obviously more important than your dog, it's kind of less you have to deal with. Change a litter box once a week, or have your wife change a litter box once a week. Make sure the cat has food. Make sure the cat doesn't get on top of your PC. Like I came in yesterday, the cat had jumped up on. So my room has all these windows in it, right? So it's kind of like a sunroom. So if the air conditioner is not on, this is the hottest room of the house, which attracts the cat. Well, my cat somehow decided it got on top of my computer, which has like the exhaust fans on the top and like the radiator from the AIO for the CPU is up there. And the cat jumped on top and was just like perched on top of the computer, turned the computer on because the power button's on top, and was just sitting there just getting his belly and his chest warm off of my computer. And I flipped shit on that. So now like I have to make sure my door's closed all the time. Kind of annoying, but cats are kind of funny. So I was always huge dog guy until we had kids, and since then dogs are a lot of, if you go out of town, you gotta find somebody to come deal with them or take them to a kennel. Whereas a cat, if it's like 3 or 4 days, you can leave a bunch of food out, clean the litter box, and have somebody come one time, make sure they have food, and you're in pretty good shape.
All right, that's episode 119.
That's a wrap. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. If you listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, or other podcast services, don't forget you can watch us on YouTube. Click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. We also get that pre-show exclusive to the YouTube. So, we had a pretty good talk about hot dogs this week in honor of 4th of July. I'll let these other two guys sign off.
Yeah, go have good 4th of July this week. And hopefully Bungee Day is awesome. I'm meeting Chad IRL on Wednesday, so there will be pictures on Twitter of that. And have a good week.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to have a bro date there on Wednesday. Jared's coming over on Thursday, so we can do the podcast still. We're just gonna be two guys on the monitor.
It's like nah.
But no, definitely stay hydrated for all the people that are gonna be on the beach 4th of July. I know that people are gonna be imbibing on other drinks, but make sure you get some water in you as well. And stay safe out there.
Go Cats. Love you guys.